In a dark house in a dark cellar live some skeletons. Join Big Skeleton, Little Skeleton, and Dog Skeleton in the highly popular classic Funny Bones. Welcome to AJ Live. Today is a very special day, because it's going to be Halloween soon. This is why I'm reading this book, Funny Bones. It's all about Halloween. Okay, let's get started. Okay, Funny Bones, Janet and Alan Alberg. This is how the story begins. On a dark hill, there was a dark town. In the dark town, there was a dark street. In the dark street, there was a dark house. In the dark house, there was a dark staircase. Down the dark staircase, there was a dark cellar. And in the dark cellar, some skeletons lived. There was a big skeleton, there was a little skeleton, and the dog skeleton. One night, the big skeleton sat up in bed. He scratched his skull. "What shall we do tonight?" he said. "Let's take a dog for a walk," said the little skeletons. "And frighten somebody." "Good idea," the big skeleton said. So the big skeleton, the little skeleton, and the dog skeleton left the dark cellar, climbed up the dark staircase, and stepped out into the dark street. They walked past the houses and the shops. They walked past the zoo and police station. They went into the park. The big skeleton scratched his skull. "What shall we do now?" he said. "Let's play on the swings," said the little skeleton. "And throw a stick for the dog and frighten somebody." "Good idea," the big skeleton said. "What shall we do now?" "Let's play on the swings." So the big skeleton, the little skeleton, and the dog skeleton walked around the dark pond, past the dark tennis courts, and up to the dark swings. The big skeleton and the little skeleton played on the swings. They threw a stick for the dog. Suddenly, something happened. The dog skeleton chased the stick, tripped over a park bench, bumped into a tree, and ended up as a little pile of bones. "Look at that," the big skeleton said. "He's all come to pieces. What shall we do now? Let's put him back together," the little skeleton said. So the big skeleton and the little skeleton put the dog skeleton together again. They sang a song while they did it. Some of you might have heard it before, but some of you might have not. I'm going to sing it to the people who didn't know it. The toe bone's connected to the foot bone connected to the leg bone connected to the hip bone's connected to the backbone. Woofoo! Oh, woofoo! Oofoo! Then they got mixed up. "Is that a toe bone?" the little skeleton said. "Where does this one go?" said the big skeleton. "Oh, wolf!" When they had finished, the big skeleton said, "That dog looks a bit funny to me." "So he does," said the little skeleton. tail on the wrong end and his head. 4, said the dog skeleton. 4. At last, the dog was properly put back together again. The big skeleton and the little skeleton sang another song. I don't know this song, so I'm just going to read it. These bones can bark again, can run around in the park again, can frighten people in the dark again. The big skeleton scratched his skull. That reminds me, he said. We forgot to frighten somebody. Let's go and do it on the way home then, said the little skeleton. Good idea, the big skeleton said. So the big skeleton, the little skeleton, and the dog skeleton left the dark, dark swings, went out into the dark, dark town, and tried to frighten somebody. I wish we had a nice little boy to frighten. I wish we had a nice old lady. The trouble was, there wasn't anybody. Everybody was in bed. Even the policemen at the police station were in bed. Even the animals in the zoo. Of course, the skeleton animals were awake. Squeak, 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 oink. Gee up, Nellie. Good evening. Oh, who's a cheeky boy then? Have a cup of tea, pretty Polly. Put the kettle on, Mother. Let's have a ride on the elephant skeleton, the little skeleton said. Let's have a word with the parrot skeleton. The big skeleton scratched his skull. Let's keep out of the way of the crocodile skeleton, he said. When they were back in the street, and when they still could not find anybody to frighten, the big skeleton said, What shall we do now? Bye-bye. Let's frighten each other. Good idea. What a brain. The little skeleton scratched his skull. Let's frighten each other, he said. That's better than nothing. Good idea, the big skeleton said. I'm coming to get you. Gotcha. So after the big skeleton frightened the little skeleton frightened the big skeleton and the little skeleton frightened the dog skeleton, and the dog skeleton frightened them. Boo. Meow. Woof. Woo. Help! They hid around corners and frightened each other. They climbed up lampposts and frightened each other. They jumped out of dustbins and frightened each other. Yelp! All the way home. And that is how the story ends. On a dark, dark hill, there was a dark, dark town. In the dark, dark towns, there was a dark, dark street. In the dark, dark street, there was a dark, dark house. In the dark, dark house, there was a dark, dark staircase. Down the dark, dark staircase, there was a dark, dark cellar. In the dark, dark cellar, some skeletons lived. The end. They still do. And that's the end of the book, Funny Bones. If you want me to read more books, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Bye!